Hello, everybody, and welcome to our Facebook Live, coming to you from the British Council Teaching English Facebook page. My name is Karen Waterston, and I work with the social media team with Teaching English. Today, we're going to be talking about noticing grammar, and I am delighted to have somebody I worked with for many years joining us today, Ganga. So let's meet Ganga. Hi, Ganga.
Hi, Karen.
How are you? It's so great to work with you again today and have you on
Same
our
here.
live.
I'm doing good. Yeah, same here, Karen.
So, Ganga, tell us, where are you at the moment and what do you do?
I'm in Sri Lanka. I'm from Sri Lanka, and at present, actually, I'm working as an e-moderator for the British Council Sri Lanka, and at the same time, I'm working for State University, Defence University in Sri Lanka as a BN TESOL course coordinator.
Wow, and you have many, many, many years of experience as a teacher and a teacher trainer and teacher educator.
Yes.
How long have you
So
been doing that?
I was a teacher of English for 11 years, and then I became a master trainer, and there I worked for another 11 years. So altogether, 22 years of working experience in the ELT.
Well, we are in great hands having you with us to share all of your practical ideas and tips on noticing grammar. But also, I can hear all the birds. Is it green and jungle where you are?
Yeah, yes,
Oh,
actually, I'm in the countryside and surrounded by green. I really enjoy this life here.
yeah. Yeah, you traveled a long way to get a good connection.
Yes. Yes. So when I work, I have to go to the city, Colombo, and then it's totally different from the life here in my usual life here.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I enjoy both. Yes.
Good. Well, enjoy the countryside while you can. So, teachers watching, we are talking about noticing grammar. So, first of all, you can see on the screen the title, Noticing Grammar. What does it mean? Teachers watching, what does noticing grammar mean? Let us know in the comments. So, Ganga, I'll let you know what people say,
Okay.
but tell us, what do you understand by noticing grammar?
Okay. I really I believe that noticing grammar is something really important in teaching grammar because it creates actually simply it creates opportunities for learners to actively observe and also analyze. Analyzing is really important in learning something, and noticing grammar means we let the learner analyze and also reflect on the grammar point, the structure they learn, and uh, another very important thing in noticing grammar is we provide it in context. So
Okay. So, how is that different from, like, what is the opposite? Would it be like, so you just said just now that it's about the students looking and seeing the grammar. So, what's the opposite?
yes, the opposite is most of the time, my observation is that we try to give the form. So we explicitly try to teach the students form of the structures, and sometimes we do many exercises. Sometimes we give them like 20 50 sentences for gap filling, and there actually we focus more on form. But I think this is really important because when it comes to the practical scenario, when the students want to use it in their real life, so they find it difficult to apply the structures, the grammar structures they have learned, because we haven't given them enough opportunities to notice the grammar point in context.
So, we've got a comment here from Emad who says teaching grammar through context. That's what noticing.
Yes. Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. Yes.
And we also have Mohammed who says self discovery model. So, is it also, yeah?
Yes. Yes. Actually, when we bring noticing grammar into the class, we promote discovery learning and learner autonomy after all. Yeah.
Okay. So I just wanted to say hello to Rabia, says hello to you. Nice to see you,
Hi,
Ganga.
Rabia. She's one of my mentors
Oh.
in one of the courses. Yeah.
And we have Tran from Vietnam, and we have Hiram from Mexico, and Shahid, very nice to have you here. And Deepti, hi Deepti. Oh, it's been a long time. And Bool from South Sudan. So we have people joining us from all over the world. Welcome, everybody. So Ganga, you were just saying that noticing grammar, like Mohammed and Emad said, it's around seeing things in context rather than giving lots of gap fills or just giving the form. So why is it important for our students to know how to notice grammar? So teachers watching, why is it important for our students to know about noticing grammar? Let us know in the comments. And Sandra, we've got Sandra from Borneo, and we have Mona Lisa from UAE, and Malika, hi. Oh, so many familiar names. It's wonderful. Eman is from Jordan, and Teresita, nice to see you again, from the Philippines. Fatima from Oman. So go ahead. Gangat, why is it important for teachers to know, students to know about noticing grammar?
Yes, as exactly, I agree with what the comments exactly said. So it promotes learner autonomy, and the students will be confident when they notice the grammar in context, and then they can just apply that the grammar structure into that same scenario. When they come out with the same context, they will be confident in applying that. That will be one thing. And also it encourages guided learning, guided discovery. So once we let them uh, see the grammar structure in context, so they themselves will realize, this is the meaning of that, this is the usage of that. When I come across this kind of context, I need to use this, other than telling everything explicitly.
Well, I'd love if you could chat to my Catalan teacher and help them. Esala is saying that it's important because learners will learn on their own.
Exactly. Yes.
And Mohammed says, bringing learners into the noticing grammar moment is the first step to learner-centeredness and self-empowerment and, hold on, it just jumped up, and self-regulation. Emad says, students are in need to communicate, so grammar is a main key part. And Rabia says, noticing allows learners to connect the form with the meaning.
Yes.
And this deeper understanding leads to more natural and flexible use of language. So it seems it's a very important thing.
Yes. Yes. And can I add one thing? So when we bring noticing grammar into the class, so then definitely in the next step we'll be discussing how we do that. So there we can discuss when we bring noticing activities, noticing grammar techniques into the classroom, we can create interaction in the classroom within the students. So once again, as Asala said, it promotes interaction and self-directed learning.
And that means learners can then use the language in real life situations more easily, right? Okay.
Yes.
So now we come to the best part. How do we do it?
Okay. So we can think of different ways. We can just have a long list of things we can do to let the students, let our learners notice grammar. And out of all these things, I prefer integrating the grammar point with the reading, integrating grammar in reading. And so if we take an example, like when we give reading comprehension texts, So we have to think how we can promote noticing grammar in reading comprehension also. I think that is a very effective way of letting the students notice grammar. There we can not only reading, but we can integrate noticing grammar with both the receptive skills, reading as well as listening.
So,
Shall we? Yeah.
so you're saying that because quite often, like you, language classes I've been in and also that I've observed separate and go, okay, today we're doing grammar, today we're doing reading, today we're doing speaking. And what you're saying is mix them all together.
Yes. Yes.
Okay. Okay. I'm just going to read a few more comments. They're coming in thick and fast. Joseph, who is from, not sure. I think he mentioned it earlier. It makes learning more interactive.
Yes.
And we have somebody from Bali, Marina from Bali. And I just wanted to say here, it's teaching it through, this is Emma, teaching it through realistic, meaningful, and authentic texts. Okay, great. So you mentioned about integrating reading, grammar, and reading.
Reading, yeah.
Can you give us an example?
So if we can, like in our reading, yes, as teachers, we have to take, we have to plan it carefully, because sometimes when we do reading lessons, as you rightly said, so without doing it separately, the grammar and reading, if we can integrate, yes, if the teacher can just think of the particular grammar structure he or she is going to teach or have already taught in the classroom when she is picking reading comprehension texts. So there, other than just explicitly teaching the grammar point, we can let the students notice, okay, this is the situation context, and in this context, we have to use this grammar point.
Okay, so for example,
Okay.
do you want me to show the example, or do you want to talk about it a little first?
Yes, yeah. So if we can see a text like, shall we go to the example?
Sure. The one with the colors?
Yes.
Yeah,
Yes.
okay. There we go.
Yeah. So I want the audience, the viewers to see, tell us what is noticed here, what we can see it at first. So if we take this text as a part of the comprehension text, so Karen, here we have used different colors. And by using the colors, I think the students, the learner will see the color, the different the words or phrases in different colors first. So
Okay,
then,
I'm just going to bring us back just a minute. Hold on, there we go. So teachers watching, what are we helping the students to notice? What are the different colors in that slide? I'll just bring it back again. What are the different colors? What do they mean? And I'll just wait for some comments to come in. So, Ganga, is this something that you make the colors or the students make the colors?
yes, we have to think of how we should do it. So if the teacher has the facilities, teacher can bring this text in colors.
Okay.
So then the students will identify, okay, they will just notice, actually the task is reading comprehension. While they are answering the reading comprehension questions, apart from that, they will notice these changes also.
All right, I'll just bring it back again. And we have Maria Buccia says past tense. Is that right?
Yes. So the verb is past tense, and also we have colored the adverbial phrase also last week. So then it will help the students to notice that, okay, we are using these verbs, past forms, when we talk about this time, past time.
Yes, we have. Hicham says a time expression. Esala says dark blue, the time reference, and light blue make the learners see the verb changes. Tariq says different colors show the correct usage of tense. Salam says verb in the past and the time in the text. Brilliant. Everyone's getting it. Now, what about Ganga though? Maybe in my classroom, I don't have any colors and I can't show anything. I've only got a blackboard. I don't have a projector. What can I do?
Yes. So there can be, that's natural to have the low facility, low resource classrooms. So I think we don't have to go for colors always. So instead, we can use different shapes. Like instead of the timing expression in dark blue, I could use a square there. And to highlight the verbs, to let the learners notice the verbs, we can either use a circle or we can underline. So we can always go for adaptations.
Okay, a little bit like this,
Yes.
perhaps.
Yes.
So can you, so here, just talk us through what we can see.
Yes. So here, the last week, the time expression adverbial, we have used square, and the two verbs we have used two different the shapes. If you want them to notice the maybe in a text, we can use regular as well as irregular verbs. So sometimes just to let them notice the regular verbs, we can use a circle, and irregular verbs, the past form, we can use underlining. And also sometimes if it is a regular verb, just to make them notice the ed suffix, we can use another shape there just to highlight the ed, the past suffix.
So this is something that the teacher does in advance before the reading, and so you're doing the reading comprehension and the noticing of the grammar at the same time.
Same time.
Very efficient.
Yeah, thank you. And also, if we have time, sometimes after letting them notice this, then after completing their actual exercise, that means reading comprehension, we can just do an interactive task with the students. We can let them come to the board and then just talk about this, the different shapes maybe. Okay, squares are for this, the underlining things are for this, something like that. We can do some interactive work also with the students.
And it's helping them think, isn't it?
Yes.
Which is what we want. So we've got a comment here from Hicham who says, circling, highlighting, underlining, tabulating are all forms of noticing.
Yes, exactly, yes.
And I think you also mentioned if there's the possibility you can use bold or italics.
Yes. Yes, well, if we have resources, yes, we can do a lot. And sometimes I have observed that one of my teachers in observation, once I can remember, she was using stars, the stickers, a small sticker, just to paste the stickers just next to the word.
Ah, so the students did that?
Yes.
Oh, how lovely. So they're all putting their stars next to certain things so they can then start noticing patterns.
Yeah. So then once again, we are promoting learner autonomy because they learn from peers. When the peers come to the board and do it, then the others, they just notice it and they learn it.
So you mentioned, so that was an example of integrating noticing grammar with reading. But you also earlier mentioned that you can integrate it with other receptive skills. Listening. Yeah. How do you do that?
Okay. When it comes to listening, so if we use a listening text, so if it is an activity they do listen and listening comprehension activity, listen and underline or listen and fill in a blank. So apart from that listening comprehension activity, just like in reading comprehension, we can bring some visual enhancement. We can use some visual enhancement, just like what our viewers had mentioned, underlining, circling, those things, highlighting into listening comprehension text also.
So using the listening comprehension text like a reading text.
Yes.
But what if, what if I don't have a way to display the listening script, or I don't have any photocopies of it, or I can't, no projector. As you know, my classroom has nothing.
Yes. Yes. That's possible. That's possible. So yes, I think in most of the countries, our students, our learners, they have their own textbooks. So if we don't have resources to display an enlarged copy, sometimes we can ask our student if they have a textbook, if they have a course book, and if the listening text is the exercise is there. So we can just ask them to number the lines, and
Clever.
maybe they can just come out with, okay, line 3, third word. That is, yeah, something like that. Yeah.
So then you, the teacher, are directing them to what they need to notice.
Yes, yes.
And do you tell them this is a past tense verb?
It depends. I think it's better if we can elicit other than teacher directly explicitly telling them. If the teacher can just explicit, so once again we can promote interaction in the classroom. We can ask them to get into pairs and then just discuss with or in small groups they can discuss, and then we can elicit.
Because language is all about patterns and
Yes.
finding patterns, isn't it?
And also, if we can have a notice board in the classroom, if we can have the habit of, if we can inculcate that habit of just referring things to on the notice board, sometimes in a low resource classroom, maybe in the previous day, teacher can display those texts.
Okay. So, and then you direct the students to go and look at them and check and
Yes.
see. Okay. So on their way in and out of class, for example?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Great. So we've covered some ideas and techniques for integrating reading, noticing grammar and reading, and noticing grammar and with listening. I'm just going to read a couple of comments. We've got Auli from Finland is joining us, and we've got, yes, so Tariq says teaching grammar at the same time is a great way to make students learn the language, like integrating everything. And we have, yes, Hitcham says, think, pair, share in the noticing stage is very effective. Why is it very effective?
Yes, it's really effective once again for the reason that we are promoting learner autonomy and self-directed learning, and they together. When we think pair share means they have to first do it individually, and then with the person next to the learner they can discuss, and then in small groups, or maybe teacher can put two groups together. So in that way the TTT, which we are always thinking of, will be less. And then we give them more opportunities for the students. And in their discussions, sometimes there are different mixed ability groups in our classes. So in their discussions, some will notice it for the first time sometimes, or sometimes, yes. So the practicing will be done through noticing there. Yes, exactly.
Great. So reading and listening, and what other ways can we integrate noticing?
I think when we bring fun to the classroom, always we, even adults, learners, we all learn things in a very relaxed manner. So I think noticing grammar can be integrated with games.
Okay. Do you want me to show the other slide?
Okay, yeah.
Okay, so just talk us through this one. Let me just find out where it is. Hold on. Okay, there we go.
Yes. I think those who are joining us, most of you know this. So we call it crosses, knots and crosses, or some may call it tic-tac-toe. So this is another way of another simple game very interesting game that we can use to notice grammar. Sometimes, so most of the times, this game is used in grammar classes for practicing grammar. But apart from that, in any class, maybe in our writing classes, we can use this as a pre-writing activity to let the students get ready for writing, as well as to notice the grammar points they need, the structures they need to do some writing activities. Shall we play a game, Karen?
Yes, please. I love playing a game, and maybe the teacher's watching us. You can join in.
Yeah. So for this, I'm using my mini whiteboard. Hope this is clear. Okay. So I have done the noughts and crosses board on my mini whiteboard. And yes, Karen, imagine that we are going to write a text
Okay.
on on our, let's say, best friend. We are
Okay.
going to describe a person. So in the as the pre-writing activity, we can play this noughts and crosses game. Shall we start?
Yes. Shall I
I would
start?
like to give you the chance first.
Okay, I'm going to choose the top corner. What's that one in the top left
Okay,
corner?
top corner is works.
Works. Okay, so I need to make a sentence about myself or
Your friend.
my friend. Oh, yes, because it's works with the S. My friend. Okay, my friend works every day on the computer, and she works very, very hard and now has a sore back.
Okay, great. So you are the knots. You are in knots group. So I'm going to mark the top corner box with a knot.
Okay.
Okay, the next chance goes to me. So she has three siblings.
Oh, very good. So
Okay.
you get a cross.
Cross.
Now, do people play this in, we'll imagine that we carry
Yes.
on and the idea is to get a line of three, right?
Three. Yeah, three
Now,
boxes.
do your groups play this in pairs or small groups, or do you do it as a whole class? How does that work?
Yeah, once again, it depends. So if I have a class of 6 members, I can put
Lucky you.
yeah, if I have, yeah, if I have maybe 6 and sometimes 10, so we can put them into two groups, five, five. So first, before we start the game, we can give them maybe 1 or 2 minutes or maybe 5 minutes to discuss and get ready. So then they are helping each other. Once again, they will notice in their discussions. And also, if we have large classes, which is possible, maybe 50, 60. So only thing we have to have maybe 10 or 8 mini whiteboards like this. And then we can have the boards, the noughts and crosses, the chart on each.
Okay, then
Or
the
once again, if the teacher wants to just reduce his or her work, teacher can put the grid on the board and then distribute the mini whiteboards. And in groups, they will prepare their own boards.
So now I've often seen noughts and crosses, and I've done it myself with my own students, being used as a grammar lesson. So this example is not about teaching the grammar. How is it a little bit different?
Yeah. So, yes, when it comes to teaching grammar, so once again, we can use this, but some may argue that it's more practicing grammar. Yes, but
Some might, yeah.
yeah, still in practicing grammar also they will notice the grammar structure when they join and when they interact and when they play this game. But here my example is that in a pre-writing activity, now here my objective is to my learning outcome would be writing 5 sentences about your best friend. So before we ask them to write it individually, if we can put them into groups and as an interactive task, if we can give this game, Then while they are playing, sometimes if the teacher monitors well, teacher can notice, the teacher herself or himself can notice the things, the structures they need more help with. So before they start the actual work, teacher can help them have a kind of grammar revision.
So we've got a question here. This is not a question. We've got a comment from Tran Nate, who's saying this is very useful for teaching grammar. So you can use it for teaching grammar, but you're using it for helping notice the grammar before a reading task.
Yes. This is actually here. We can use this in teaching grammar, but I wanted to show how it can be adapted into other situations as well. Definitely, this is really, really effective. Even I have used this game with my teacher trainees and also with in-service teachers and also small kids. And the best thing about this is it can be adapted into any level, like even with primary students we can use this.
Exactly. Yeah, it's great. It's a great game. I think we've had Malika says an inspiring idea. Ganga, love it. And Rabia says it can be integrated into the lesson through error correction as well. Games are a good way. Noughts and crosses is good. So everyone is very appreciative of the practical tips that you are sharing, Ganga. Now, just before the end, there was one final other aspect that you. Oh no! So the games. There was another game.
Yeah,
That you were
and
mentioning.
apart from this, yes, we can have many great games like snake and ladder
That's the one.
games. I think in different parts we call it in different names, but the boxes with the snakes and ladders. So there we can adapt that the original game for noticing grammar. For an example, if you can give, okay, tell me the past tense of right. So if the learner, if the player wants to go to the next box, then he or she has to give the past form of that, the grammar point. And also tell me something you did yesterday. So they have to make a sentence in past form. So
And
likewise, we can use snake and ladder. And there are some slap the board activities, name wheel activities.
oh
So I
well,
think we can Google and find. Yeah.
that's right. Name the wheel. What's it called?
Yeah, it's called name of wheel, where the teachers can just write just like in snake and ladder, teachers can type the structures they want to highlight, or sometimes just like, okay, what is the past form of this? So it is a wheel with different what stripes.
Mm-hmm.
So when it is spun, we can spin the wheel. So the learner has to make a sentence or just has to respond to what the wheel asks you to do when the wheel is stopped.
So Marcus has just shared a link to that in the comments. So everybody watching, you should be able to see that. It's a very useful tool for many things in the classroom,
Yes,
isn't it?
yes.
Just before we finish, there is, if you want to know more about teaching grammar, we have a free online course. The link is in the link symbol at the bottom of your phone. If you're watching on your phone, if you're watching on a laptop, it should be visible, and you can click on the link to enroll on our How to Teach Grammar course for lots more tips and ideas on teaching grammar. Ganga, the time has flown by. My goodness. Thank you so much for joining us today. And it's really lovely to see you again.
Same here. Thank you, Karen. And I must thank Luz also for setting up this. Thank
Yes,
you, Karen. It's so
you're
nice.
welcome. And thanks, Marcus, in the background. And thanks, teachers, for joining us. Hope you got some good ideas for your classes. And we will see all of you very soon. Bye.
Bye.